Are you looking for a challenging new 3D platformer that'll have you yelling at your computer in celebration and frustration? Well, stick around because we're having a cheeky look at The Lone Blade. The Lone Blade is a new game from French indie game developer Opia Games, and seems to be their first major project as a team. And look, if you've ever had fantasies of becoming a sword and hopping around the ruins of an ancient civilization, then your extremely niche fantasy is about to become a reality, my friend. You're a soul trapped in a sword, trying to redeem yourself by exploring a vast and beautiful landscape. You do this by hopping, spinning, and boosting your way up and over various obstacles in your quest to climb as high as you can, I guess. Alright, first let's start with some positives. The game world is pretty well realised. It has clearly taken some inspiration from Journey in its aesthetic choices, but I reckon they pay off. The music and sound design helps to support this and create a gentle ambience as you slowly piece your way through the jumping puzzles that make up the game. The gameplay in The Lone Blade is simple to pick up but challenging to master. Timing the side spins just right, or angling the blade so you can hop off to the next ledge, are on the right side of infuriating. It means that you really get that endorphin rush when you finally make your way up a wall that at first seemed impossible. In my playtime, I also ran up against a boss section that felt challenging but satisfying. Figuring out its attacks and learning the patterns to counter or evade them, there's definitely some joy to be found here. On the flip side, however, there were a few issues that I ran into. The movement sometimes felt a little clunky. Using the recommended gamepad, I found that turning the sword so I could boost off in directions felt slow to pivot, which was infuriating at times. Similarly, whenever the camera swung around, it would flip the direction the shoulder triggers sent the sword spinning in, so I was constantly flipping off in the opposite direction to the one that I wanted to go in. Although after looking in the menu, I think I found an option to make the direction either sword contextual or camera contextual, so maybe that's fixable. Speaking of visuals, there was a bunch of clipping, so I was regularly looking through into the bowels of the earth, and there seemed to be several rules at play, with things that were solid for me but then passable for other objects in the game world, which led to a bunch of confusion about what I could or couldn't climb or hop off. Like, these boulders just went straight through this house. Why? How? It also meant that sometimes it wasn't super clear which direction I should be heading in. Is this door meant to be climbed or bypassed? Where the heck am I? What are the visual cues leading me in a direction? Oh, and I know that English isn't their first language, but maybe the studio should have got an anglophone to look at the subtitles for the beginning of the game. Overall, if you're looking for a game with some similarities to Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy and Journey, then this might be something to sink some time into. It's definitely got some rough edges and the jank might be a little bit too much for some people. But for a first outing by a very small team, I wouldn't say it lone slayed, but it's okay. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to check out some of my other pile of shame videos just up here. Some are good, some are bad, but we're all on a spectrum, right? Oh, and say hi in the comments if you got this far. Who doesn't love a little hello? Bye.